world filled with shadows where we drift apart. Whispers of division echo in every heart. We've lost our way in the chaos and the noise, searching for the light, praying to rejoice. With every step we take on this winding road, let us hold our hands, share this heavy load. For every soul is yearning, longing to be free. Let's gather in the silence, find the harmony. One voice, one heart, let us sing together. In the face of the storm, we'll stand strong forever. We're all brothers and sisters, no matter the race. Let's rise like the sun.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This week, we're really digging into something heavy. A significant and, frankly, tragic event that's got everyone talking. The killing of Charlie Kirk.
It's definitely captured national attention, and it seems to have sparked these wider conversations about, division, conflict, things we're all grappling with.
Exactly. So our mission today is to try and meticulously unpack the sources we have. We've got news updates, investigative notes, some broader commentary, even some ancient wisdom texts.
It's quite a mix.
It is. And the goal isn't just to, list facts. It's to give you a really comprehensive understanding. The event itself, sure, but also the investigation, the complexities.
And those bigger questions it forces us to ask.
Yeah.
About where we are as a society in this pursuit of peace.
Yeah. We'll touch on investigative reports, specific allegations, and we need to be careful there. Political takes, and like I said, some foundational scriptural ideas. It's about getting to the why it matters.
And I think that's key. Synthesizing all this, looking for patterns, connecting jogs maybe people aren't seeing. It's about equipping you, the listener, with insights for deeper thinking.
Not telling you what to think.
Absolutely not. Just fostering that critical perspective, especially on something this pivotal.
Okay, so let's ground ourselves. Where do things stand right now? It's been 1 week since Charlie Kirk was killed.
Just 1 week, yeah. Feels longer with the amount of discussion.
It does. And authorities, they're deep in the investigation. Reports say they're looking into more than 20 people alleged to have ties to the main suspect, Tyler Robinson.
20 people. That's a significant number. It immediately suggests they're looking beyond just a single individual act.
Right. What does that usually imply in these kinds of investigations?
Well, typically, casting a net that wide means investigators believe there might be coordination, maybe premeditation involving others, or perhaps a supportive network.
So not necessarily direct accomplices, but maybe influence, support.
Could be anything from logistical support to ideological encouragement. They're trying to understand the entire ecosystem around the alleged crime. Who knew what, when, what might have enabled it. It's about mapping out all potential connections.
It paints a much bigger, potentially more complex picture.
Definitely. It moves away from the idea of just a spontaneous, isolated incident.
And things are still developing. We have a source, a video report from WS11 News that mentions new evidence in the murder. Doesn't detail what that evidence is, but its existence tells us the investigation is active, things are moving, public understanding could shift as more comes out.
Absolutely. Early days, relatively speaking.
Okay, let's turn to the accused killer, Tyler Robinson. Sources are suggesting leaked texts might reveal his motive and perhaps planning.
Leaked communications. In an investigation, that kind of material can be, well, incredibly significant.
How so? More than just motive.
Oh, potentially much more. Texts, emails, messages. They can offer a direct window, sometimes unfiltered, into the suspect's mindset. You might see intent, premeditation, specific grievances laid out, maybe even a timeline.
So it moves beyond speculation.
It can, yes. It gives investigators concrete material to analyze the psychological state, the planning stages, the how and why, from the suspect's own reported words. It's often crucial for building a case.
Now, adding another layer here, one source, a Fox News article, brings up something specific about Robinson's alleged connections. It quotes a relative saying his transgender roommate hates conservatives and Christians.
Okay, that's a specific and obviously loaded allegation,
Right.
and it's attributed to a relative.
Right. So how do investigators, or how should we approach that kind of information?
Very carefully. I mean, if investigators were to find corroborating evidence, it could point towards exploring ideological animosity as a potential factor in the motive. It certainly fuels a particular public narrative.
But it's an allegation from one person.
Exactly. Crucially, it's reported as an allegation from a relative. Its actual weight in the investigation depends entirely on whether it can be substantiated. It highlights how personal perspectives, maybe biases, can shape the early stories around a tragedy. We report that the source contains this allegation, but we don't treat it as verified fact.
Got it. Important distinction. And then there's Candace Owens. She knew Kirk, worked with him, and she's reportedly raising suspicions about the murder, even alleging pressure over Israel might be involved.
Right, and that introduces yet another dimension. Owens is a public figure close to Kirk. Her statements bring in geopolitical angles, alternative theories.
It complicates the narrative significantly.
It really does. It shows how quickly these events can become entangled in much larger, pre-existing political debates and international issues. It adds layers for investigators, but also for public understanding or misunderstanding.
This isn't happening in isolation, is it? This killing seems to be tapping into this broader feeling of division in the country.
It really does feel that way.
Mm.
Like it's a symptom or maybe a catalyst for a larger conversation.
In fact, Barack Obama weighed in. One source quotes him saying the U.S. is at an inflection point after Kirk's killing, and he linked it to division, saying Trump has divided the country.
Inflection point. That's a powerful choice of words from a former president.
What does that signal, politically or historically?
It suggests he sees this moment not just as a tragedy, but as a potential turning point for the nation. A moment where the direction could shift, maybe for better or worse. It reflects that widespread concern about polarization, about societal fragmentation.
Like things are fundamentally strained.
Exactly. That the divisions aren't just background noise anymore. They're actively shaping events and potentially the country's future. It frames the killing within a much larger systemic context of national unease.
And looking at our other sources, this feeling of tension seems reflected elsewhere. We see the FBI investigating a vehicle ramming at their Pittsburgh office as a, quote, targeted attack against the Bureau.
Against the FBI itself.
And then separately, a 22-year-old charged with threatening to kill the New Hampshire governor.
Wow.
Now, obviously, these aren't directly linked to Kirk's death in any causal way we know of.
No, but when you see them together.
Right. They sort of paint a picture, don't they, of this climate you mentioned.
They absolutely contribute to that narrative of heightened tension, targeted actions, maybe even a breakdown of trust or respect for institutions and figures of authority, the FBI attack, the threat against a governor.
It feels like examples of that inflection point Obama mentioned.
It could certainly be interpreted that way. They illustrate this volatile landscape, these tangible manifestations of deep division or radicalization that people are talking about. It underscores the urgency of trying to understand what's driving this.
So with all this division and tension, it feels natural to look for, well, other perspectives, frameworks for understanding conflict and maybe finding a way through it.
Looking beyond the immediate news cycle.
Yeah. And our sources actually guide us towards some ancient scriptural teachings, texts that have grappled with conflict, unity, and, basic human conduct for millennia.
It's interesting how relevant some of that ancient wisdom can feel in moments like this.
It really is. We can kind of group these ideas into maybe 3 areas. First, this idea of personal accountability when conflict arises.
Okay.
Like in Genesis 4, the Cain and Abel story, Cain kills his brother, then asks, "Am I my brother's keeper?" It's like the foundational question about our responsibility to each other.
And the tragic consequences when that's ignored.
Exactly. Then you have something more direct, like Romans 12.18. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone.
Putting the onus on individual effort?
Right. It emphasizes your own agency, your part in creating peace even when it's hard.
Okay, so personal responsibility first. What's next?
The second theme seems to be about the power of communal love. John 13 has this new command, love one another. By this, everyone will know you are my disciples.
So love as a defining mark of the community.
Yeah, not just a feeling, but an action, a visible identity that should transcend differences. And Galatians 5.14 basically boils down the entire law to love your neighbor as yourself.
Simplifying it to that core principle, love is the unifier.
And the third area is the active pursuit of peace. It's not passive.
Right.
Matthew 5.9, blessed are the peacemakers. Emphasis on making peace, actively working for it.
Being proactive.
Yeah. And Ephesians 4 lists the qualities needed: humility, gentleness, patience, bearing with one another in love, making every effort to keep unity.
It acknowledges that unity takes work,
Yeah.
real effort, and specific virtues.
It does. And James 3 also contrasts the wisdom that leads to peace with the disorder caused by selfish ambition. It all kind of reinforces this idea that peace requires conscious effort and certain character traits.
You know, listening to all those together, it's striking. They offer a really coherent, almost a counter-narrative to the division we were just discussing.
How?
Well, they consistently call for personal responsibility, for empathy, for actively building bridges, not just passively accepting conflict. It's a framework that demands action, starting with the individual but extending outwards.
A guide for navigating these inflection points.
Perhaps. A timeless one, anyway. It suggests that the path away from fragmentation involves cultivating these qualities, love, peace, mutual respect, intentionally, both within ourselves and in our communities. It's a profound challenge laid down by these ancient texts.
So we've journeyed quite a distance here, from the sharp, painful details of Charlie Kirk's killing and this widening investigation,
Through the commentary on national division, those other troubling incidents.
right up to these enduring ideas about peace and unity from Scripture, connecting the headlines to some fundamental human questions.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is seeing how one tragedy can ripple outwards. It triggers this huge investigation, yes, but it also forces a kind of national soul-searching about our values, our responsibilities to each other.
It definitely puts things into sharp focus.
It does. And it leaves us, and you, the listener, with a pretty significant question, doesn't it? In a world that feels so often defined by conflict, how can these principles, love, peace, mutual respect, be more than just nice ideas? How can we actively practice them, cultivate them in our own lives, our own communities, right now?
How do we move from just hearing them to actually embodying them?
Exactly.
That is a powerful question. And thinking about all these sources, from the raw news to the ancient wisdom, what does it really mean today for each of us to be our brother's keeper, especially when we face such deep, sometimes angry ideological divides? What's our part in bridging that?
And something to definitely reflect on.
Indeed. Something to ponder until next time on The Deep Dive.
Forever, we're all brothers and sisters, no matter the race. Let's rise like the sun and shine with grace. Swing low, sweet chariot, carry us along to a place where love's melody is our song. Look around, see the struggles, the tears that flow. In our quest for connection, we must let love grow. From the rooftops of cities to the fields of green, let's bloom in this garden where we've rarely been. Open our hearts wide, let compassion embrace. Build bridges of hope in this fractured space. For we're woven together, a tapestry bright, seeking peace in the darkness. Let's ignite the light. One voice, one heart, let us sing together. In the face of the storm, we'll stand strong forever. We're all brothers and sisters, no matter the race. Let's rise like the sun and shine with grace. Swing low, sweet chariot, whispered, our hearts intertwined. Let's seek peace for the broken. Let love be our sign. Now the time has come to heal the wounds of the past. With faith in our hearts, we'll stand firm and steadfast. For in this journey of life, we're never alone. Together in the struggle, together we've grown. So take my hand, let's walk this path anew, with courage in our souls and love shining through. For in the spirit of togetherness, we will prevail. With one voice, one purpose, and love that won't fail. So let the music guide us, let it light the way. In the beauty of our union, we'll find strength today. With open arms, let's welcome every kind. In this world full of wonder, let's love and be kind. One voice, one heart, one spirit divine. Together we are stronger. In peace we will shine.